Welcome to the last night. A story of despair, unexpected encounters, and the power of human connection. Ethan sat alone in his dimly lit apartment, the flickering glow of the TV casting eerie shadows on the walls. The noise of the city outside was muffled, a distant hum that seemed worlds away from his isolated reality. The bottle of whiskey on the table was almost empty, its contents numbing the pain that had been his constant companion for months. He had made up his mind. Tonight would be the end. He had written the letters, made peace with his decision, and planned everything meticulously. As Ethan prepared to leave his apartment for the last time, there was a sudden knock at the door. He froze, heart pounding, wondering who could possibly be visiting him at this hour. Curiosity got the better of him, and he opened the door to find a young woman standing there, drenched from the rain. "Hi, I'm Maya. I just moved into the apartment next door and got locked out. Can I use your phone to call the landlord?" she asked, her voice tinged with desperation. Over the next hour, Maya shared her story. She was fleeing an abusive relationship and had nowhere else to go. Her vulnerability and honesty struck a chord with Ethan, stirring something deep within him. When Maya noticed the packed bag by the door and the half-written letters on the table, she asked him about it. Ethan, feeling an unexpected need to confide, told her about his plan. Maya listened in stunned silence, before gently placing a hand on his arm. "I know what it feels like to want to escape," she said softly. "But maybe we can help each other. Just for tonight. Can you give me that?" Ethan agreed, feeling a flicker of something he hadn't felt in a long time, hope. They spent the night talking, sharing stories of their pain and their dreams, forging an unlikely bond in the face of their respective darkness. As dawn approached, Maya's phone rang. It was the landlord, finally calling back. She arranged to get a spare key, and thanked Ethan for his kindness. Before leaving, she handed him a small, worn-out business card. "If you ever need someone to talk to, call this number. It's a support group that helped me once," she said with a sad smile. Ethan took the card, not thinking much of it. After Maya left, he found himself staring at it, debating whether to follow through with his original plan. With a deep breath, he dialed the number. To his surprise, the person on the other end of the line was a familiar voice. It was his old high school friend, David, who had become a counselor after battling his own demons. They talked for hours, and David's support gave Ethan the strength to seek help. Weeks turned into months, and with the support of David and the group, Ethan slowly began to rebuild his life. He found a new sense of purpose, volunteering at the same support group that had saved him. He started reconnecting with old friends and discovered a passion for photography, capturing the world through a lens and finding beauty in the smallest details. One evening, after a particularly inspiring support group meeting, Ethan decided to take a walk along the river. As he stood on a bridge, looking out at the water, he thought about how far he had come since that night he almost ended it all. Suddenly, he heard a familiar voice. "Ethan?" He turned to see Maya standing there, looking healthier and happier than he had ever seen her. They embraced, and she joined him in gazing out over the water. As they walked and talked, Maya shared how she had found a stable job and was taking classes to pursue her dream of becoming a social worker. Ethan, in turn, talked about his photography and the joy it brought him. "I've been thinking," Maya said, pausing to look at him with a serious expression, "about starting a project to help people like us. Those who are on the brink, who need someone to pull them back." Ethan felt a surge of excitement. A support network? Maybe with workshops and creative outlets like photography and art? Maya nodded, her eyes shining. "Exactly. We could call it the Bridge Project, a way to help people find their way back to solid ground." Together, they worked tirelessly on the Bridge Project. Their combined experiences and empathy drew others to their cause, and soon, they had a growing community of volunteers and participants. They offered workshops, support groups, and creative outlets, creating a safe space for those struggling with mental health issues. Ethan's photographs began to gain recognition, not just for their artistic value, but for the powerful stories they told. He held exhibitions to raise awareness and funds for the Bridge Project, each photo a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Years later, the Bridge Project had become a beacon of hope in the community. Ethan and Maya, now partners in both life and work, stood together at the opening of a new community center dedicated to their cause. The building was filled with art, laughter, and the shared stories of those who had found their way back from the edge. As they looked around, Ethan squeezed Maya's hand. "We did it," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "We turned our darkest night into something beautiful." Maya smiled, tears of joy in her eyes. "And we'll keep building bridges, for as long as it takes." And with that, they walked into the future, hand in hand, ready to help others find the light beyond the darkness. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you or someone you know is struggling, remember that hope and help are always within reach. Don't hesitate to reach out. For this and more, subscribe and follow our channel.